Welcome to the special
I'm not.
here on Zion Mainframe. This is our
We at the movies?
top 10
What did we watch today?
video games of all time, Tom. And Tom was prepared with the perfect list. I mean, he went through everything.
I had an iron tight list, weeks of research,
Some
and
Big Show's contract.
Yeah, pretty much. don't sell my house, please. And I left it at home.
Yeah.
So I pulled a list out of my ass a couple minutes ago. I'm sure I'm missing a few things, but I got the top 5 I had down. The rest is all just...
Okay. We're going to go ahead and throw out, these are ones that didn't quite make the top 10, but are pretty, like, well, if we had a top 20, these would be...
But here's the thing, though. We each have a separate top 10, so it's not really a top 10 video because we didn't agree on a list.
No, it's our individual top 10s. Yeah. So these are just runners-up. I'm covering this up because I don't want him to know anything.
What's on your list, bro?
These are ones that came close but didn't quite make it. GoldenEye was one because that was a very good game. Rogue Squadron, Star Wars Rogue Squadron. I played the shit out of that game as a kid. Loved it. The second one was way too hard though, and I lost my interest.
Oh fuck, that's unfair. I got a pen here. So
Spelunky was another one that was a runner-up. If I had a top 20, I'd definitely put it on there because I love Spelunky. Ocarina of Time. Amazing game, didn't quite make it. Terraria, which is probably on your top 10. Yeah, didn't quite make it for me. And the last one was Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
It's a good one.
That was a really good game.
I'll do my runner-up then, if we're gonna do it. I got 3. I had like 8. I can only pick
You just bumped one off and put one on the top 10?
I did, actually. I rotated them a minute ago. But my 3 runner-ups at the moment...
he has arrows going back and forth.
I had this, but I forgot it. I meant to email it to myself. I saw. Anyways, my 3 runner-ups of my list that I remembered a couple minutes ago was State of Decay, which is one of my favorite zombie games.
I didn't think you'd have any like recent stuff in your list.
No, I have a few. But State of Decay, great game. It was an Xbox Live game, and then it came out for PC.
It's on sale. Well, not anymore as if you watch this, but on today it
goes on sale pretty often.
Well, it's the Christmas Steam sale as of filming this today.
I gotta
first day.
I gotta leave.
I bought like 20 games for 9 cents a piece or something.
I gotta go. But anyways, yeah, State of Decay is probably my favorite zombie game. It's a unique twist. It's not like a big budget blockbuster game, but it stuck with me. I'm a huge fan of it. Red Faction. The original one. Yeah, I just remember having just so much fun blasting tunnels with rocket launchers and just...
Well, it was us fighting each other, wasn't it?
It was the fun we had playing the game. I mean, I don't even really remember.
It was the multiplayer. The campaign was
I don't even really remember the campaign. But just the amount of fun I had on the multiplayer made them an honorable mention. And then Dragon Age, the first one. The first Dragon Age was amazing.
Second one would go in my top 10 worst sequels ever.
Second one was crap. It was a cash grab.
Awful.
First one, though, was a fantastic game. I love the first Dragon Age. Haven't played the third one yet, but it's on my wish list, and I'll give it a try one of these days, but the first one is amazing.
Have you played the newest one?
No, that's the third one. I haven't played it yet. Okay. Inquisition? Yeah. It's on my wish list. I'll wait for it to go on sale. I got enough.
It'll go on sale this time, I'm sure.
Yeah,
one I just remembered right now that I would put on there I remember from being really fun was Duke Nukem 0 Hour. I loved the multiplayer in that game. That was really good.
I put Far Cry 3 on my honorable mentions too, because I got a lot of playtime out of that, and it's rare that I'll get that kind of playtime out of like a shooting game. I usually don't play those that much, but Far Cry 3 was a really good one.
All right, so
haven't played the 4th one yet. That's on my wish list as well.
So we're ready to do this. Are you confident in your top 10? Let's start with 10. Mine is Fallout 3. Fallout 3. I did like New Vegas as well. I liked New Vegas as well, but the actual Vegas mechanic I did not like, and it hurt the game in my opinion. But Fallout 3 was just a perfect, fun game, and I had never played. I still haven't played Fallout 1 or 2, but Fallout 3 for me definitely goes in my top 10 of all time. I beat it twice, played the hell out of it.
I got no one to bump for that one.
Honorable mention.
Oh, that's another one I'm missing. Damn. All right, 2 more honorable mentions. Hang on.
Worst top 10 ever.
Hang on. All right, hang on. All right, I'm bumping this one. Arrow. I'm drawing an arrow here. All right. Move to my honorable mentions is Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
Was a great game, but I have to replace that one. I forgot what I want to replace it with. It's actually not Fallout 3. Fallout 3 should be up there, but you reminded me of another game that I've quickly forgotten.
No.
Man, this is a cluster.
This is awful.
This is just a disaster.
So what is your top 10 then, Ocarina?
No, I bumped it. I'm going to put Fallout there. Sure, why not? And when I think of what I wanted to put in there, I'll come up with
What's number 10?
Number 10 for me is Dark Cloud. Okay. The first Dark Cloud for PlayStation 2. It looked like a Zelda knockoff when it came out, and I remember getting it on a whim. I think that was back in middle school, high school.
That was the second game where, because I remember when you would leave for New York for like 3 months. The first time was Morrowind.
That's on my list.
Like all of a sudden you came back and you're like, hey, I found this awesome game. I'm like, so did fucking I. Yeah. And then the next summer was like, hey, I found this game Dark Cloud. I'm like, oh my god, so did I.
Actually, what I did with Dark Cloud was I got good grades, and my folks got me a game for doing that, and I just tried it on a whim. I'm like, whatever. It looks like a Zelda knockoff. Whatever. Fucking amazing.
Yeah, great game.
Fell in love with that game.
Very grind heavy, but it's really good.
Yeah, but it had great charm. It was unique for its time. It definitely wasn't a Zelda knockoff. I mean, maybe a little bit on the combat mechanics, but the rest of the game was nothing like it. So that's my number 10. That was for sure on my top 10. Not just
way better than the second.
Not just getting crammed in there like some of these other games.
All right, number 9. For me, I'm going to. You're looking at my list.
No. I remember.
Oh, you remember? Okay.
I remembered.
Number 9 for me, this is actually, it's 2 games. Technically, though, the remake is the exact same game, just expanded. But I'm putting The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. I have been playing that game beyond playing it. I mean, the original I have 45 hours on. The newest one I have 32 hours on it. And it's just,
wait, so
I am
a game with
to that.
45 hours makes your top 10.
45 plus 32, bro.
That's fucking nothing.
See, look, I have a life.
No, that's not even.
I have a...
45 hours is casual experience right there,
life,
bro.
But it's a good shot.
I got 45 hours on Fable 1, and that's
it's a really good game, though. It's one of those ones that I like the fact that you don't have to commit to it. More than an hour. An hour is a good run. You just play it, you're done with it, and that's it. You can move on, and it's got tons of unlockables, tons of challenges, characters to unlock. It's really, really good stuff. The remake, I am completely happy with it. I think it's better than the first one in every way, shape, or form.
I'm doing math.
All right, number 9.
All right, number 9 for me, Red Dead Redemption. Rockstar Games, GTA with horses, I've heard it called, but it was a really solid game all the way through. What really puts it on my top 10 list, though, is the big twist that they have at the end, and I'm not going to spoil it here because...
I got fucked out of that game, though. That was when my Xbox took a dive, and I played it a little bit on yours because we were living together, and then I was just like, I'm over being in your room.
The game itself was solid like the whole way through, but like I said, it has a huge twist towards the end, and that's really what solidified it in my top 10. If you haven't played it before, it's definitely an excellent game. I'm not even a big fan of like westerns and stuff like that, but that definitely goes on my top 10. I love that game.
We're doing a sequel to that. All right, number 8 for me is Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Vice City took what Grand Theft Auto 3 did and improved it in every way you could possibly imagine. A lot of people like San Andreas. I felt San Andreas was too spread out. It was too much nothing on the map. Vice City had it perfect. It was still a huge map with 3 big cities, and I loved the charm of the music, driving down the street to watching Eric Bischoff walk to I'm Back, and killing people with a flock of seagulls. It was just an amazing game.
Africa was my Rampage song on that game.
I remember I got yelled at by my mom because I stayed home when she got that for me. She went out to GameStop and like got it because I pre-ordered it. And so I remember you and Mike were with me, and I was like playing it during lunch, and you guys were like, "Oh, time to go back," and I'm like, "I'm not going anywhere."
We're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
I forgot to put it on my list. It was on my original top 10. Talking about this reminds me, but Grand Theft Auto 3 was on there because that was the first big leap from the top down, like it was revolutionary. 2D basically. Grand Theft Auto is jumping into Grand Theft Auto 3, so. I actually gave that the edge over Vice City.
I loved
the 3 hooked me.
The card collecting in 3 was better than Vice City. That was one of my favorite things, was finding rare cards.
Taking them down on the docks or whatever.
It was so fun. And they kind of neutered it.
San Andreas lost me. It was too big.
Yeah, it was too big.
I felt like once I got to that 3rd map, it was just too spread out. I'd never beat that one. That's the only Grand Theft Auto game that I haven't beaten was San Andreas.
Even 4, I liked it a lot, but I still didn't like it as much as 3 or Vice City.
And I'm waiting for 5 to come out on PC.
Yeah.
So whatever number I'm up to, Perfect Dark. So Perfect Dark, I thought, was an excellent follow-up to GoldenEye, and I actually realized I have a lot of N64 games on my list.
Yeah,
so
I do too. There's gonna be a lot of N64 mark.
That was more the age. I mean, it's when you talk about a top 10 list, though, it's really what connected with you at a particular time in your life.
This isn't all like everybody's games ever. This is our games.
So like N64 was, middle school into high school, which is probably when I played video games the most and played it socially with other people. So that's
now
really
you play
why
it the most, but by yourself.
I do, and it's sad. So it's just whenever you make a connection. So Perfect Dark, you me and Rebel had so many epic battles. We'd leave school on lunch and go play it on lunch break.
I got my character up to like...
You cheated because you had...
rank?
Pretty sure you had a Game Shark / Game Genie for
No,
N64.
I told you
because it's confirmed that you did cheat on WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, I had to because you teamed up on me. You guys were bullies.
And we still beat you.
No, but okay, let's talk about things they actually know about. Jesus. No, but the ranking system on there, I would do the thing where you would fight the one-on-one matches and fight the bots, and that's how I'd get my character up. And I was like ranked 3 or whatever.
Cheated,
what was my saying that infuriated you?
I don't remember.
My statistics.
You done?
I would just do that until you would yell at me and say, statistics!
Are you done? Yeah, so Perfect Dark.
Yeah, it was really good. Number 7 is Half-Life 2 for me. That is a damn fine game. That's one of the few games that I've went back and beat multiple times. Every once in a while, I'll just kind of get the feeling like, hey, I'd really like to play some Half-Life 2. It turned all of the first-person shooters into just, like, they had to be this now. Like, they had to follow Half-Life 2. The gravity gun was amazing. Ravenholm. We don't go there.
That was amazing.
It was just
part of that game.
It was really good. Overall, that game was just perfect. And make the third one, god damn it.
Yeah, they're never going to do that.
No.
Yeah, Half-Life 2 was on my honorable mentions. But my number 7, 6, wherever we are, is WrestleMania 2000.
7. Yeah.
WrestleMania 2000 is my number 7. I feel like No Mercy was a superior game. They added a lot more features and was a lot more relevant. But again, time and a place. WrestleMania 2000 was the first of its kind for me because I never played the WCW games. So this was my first, introduction to the Ukes engine and all that.
Yeah, I played NWO versus WCW.
Yeah, I never.
Or whatever. Or what was the Revenge? Revenge
was it Revenge?
One, yeah.
So, but for me, WrestleMania 2000, just making creative wrestlers, and that was kind of the first entry into good new generation wrestling games at the time, because before that it was a lot of arcade games.
Attitude.
They had Attitude and Warzone, which was just too Street Fighter-y with the controls. It was just too complicated. So WrestleMania 2000 was really the first user-friendly, complete wrestling game that I ever played.
All right, and then that falls into my number 6, WWF No Mercy. I liked WrestleMania 2000. The one thing that was better than No Mercy was that you could edit the roster itself. I don't know why they ever were like, nah, you shouldn't be able to edit The Rock. He's got to stay the way he is. Nah, it's bullshit. Because you could edit all the main roster.
You didn't have tires. You could make them current.
And I think that's why they ended up getting rid of it, because they didn't want people to. They wanted you to buy the next game, which never even ended up coming out. But game-wise and feature-wise, No Mercy was way better. I played it a lot more than WrestleMania, even though I did play WrestleMania a lot as well. But I guess I would have put WrestleMania 2000 in my honorable mentions, but I just didn't even think about it.
Skyrim. Morrowind is on my list. Spoiler alert. But it's higher up. But Skyrim, I've played through it multiple times. Different characters, different classes. Beat all the expansions. Like that, I think to me is like the definitive first-person RPG game that's out right now.
One day I need to actually play it.
Yeah, you're missing out on a pretty spectacular
Well, I have. Okay, hold on though. I'm like, one day I need to play it, but I looked at my Steam hours. I have 99 hours behind it. So I'm like, one day I need to actually play that. Maybe I don't know.
You've got 99 hours. I have
99 hours in Skyrim Main 1. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm at like a couple hundred.
Yeah,
something like that. Something ridiculous. But yeah, Skyrim is just fantastic. If you've missed out on that one, you need to buy that now. Go on Steam. I'm sure it's on sale.
Oh god, they had it on. They had it on the last Steam sale. It was on sale for $5. I was like, what? If you don't have this?
No, it's the best deal you can get. It's amazing.
And we're up to number 5, which mine was Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark was basically the not unofficial successor to GoldenEye, because Rare ended up leaving when they didn't have the GoldenEye license. But they had already did you know this? They actually had made the game like around GoldenEye, and all they ended up doing, they ended up just changing stuff around last minute and making Perfect Dark. So it's just awesome. I mean, the multiplayer on that is it's ridiculously good. I mean, I remember one of my favorite things that we would do was have you, me, and Rebel sitting in a room, put a bunch of AI bots on the hardest difficulty and just try to survive. It was good stuff.
Yeah, well, didn't we just put one bot on the hard? It was there was one game mode where the opponent was crazy overpowered. We just put one insane difficulty bot. And we would try to take him down, and it was just
I remember we were in the facility, and we were in there was a place with one door, and what we would do is we'd have our guns set up, and then we'd have our turrets set up. So you have 6 guns on this door. He'd come and just wreck us all.
Yeah,
Like,
he'd take everything out like nothing. He'd be like,
Jesus.
you guys bitches see.
Yeah.
5. Okay, I'm at
You gotta throw something in.
All right, no, that's fine.
I'm sure there's gotta be a Final Fantasy in there, right?
Oh, there is number 2. All right, fine. If I gotta throw another game, Fallout 3. So I put in my honorable mentions,
Wow.
but now, hey, you made the main roster.
What
there, buddy.
a little bitch.
You made it, buddy.
What a little
So again, it seems like the third game in a lot of series is the best one to me. Like Fallout 3, Grand Theft Auto 3. Like they finally get it right the third time around. I've tried playing.
Well, technically, though, this was a brand new company, so they didn't really get anything
theory, but
right.
It's the 3 in the series.
Yeah, but it was a brand new company. It wasn't the same.
They got it right.
Got it.
They got it right. So like Matt mentioned, Fallout 3 I've beat multiple times. I liked a lot of the additions they added to New Vegas, but Fallout 3's setting and environment, atmosphere just was a hell of a lot more creepy. Like I felt New Vegas was a lot more vibrant and happy and cheery, and I'm wandering through the desert. Everything's happy.
Other than that one, what was it? The vault where you go in and everybody's been eaten alive by the plants. That was scary.
But Fallout 3, one of my first experiences, I just remember like wandering north of Megaton, and I'm like, hey, there's a school here. It's the most fucked up building ever.
Oh yeah, we both had that experience.
Cages full of bloody.
They did that on purpose, though. They wanted you to find it.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Like just Fallout 3 took a lot of steps that other games I feel don't take, or if they do, I haven't played those games. So please comment down below what games I would like. But Fallout 3 was a big breakthrough in those type of games too.
All right, and then number 4 for me is Dark Cloud, which was lower on his list, but I probably had somewhere in the ballpark of like, I know my first playthrough I had like 200 hours on it because I ended up doing the Demon Shaft, which Jesus Christ. And then I ended up playing it again like 2 or 3 years ago, and I had like another 100 hours on it. That game just, it was so good. It was so much better than the sequel. I just did. And then they neutered the building in the sequel. Like basically they were just like in the original, everything was a unique building with a unique person. And then in the sequel, they're like, hey, here's a generic building, put some paint on it. It was like, oh, come on, bro.
Not only that, but like when you arrange the buildings in the first one, because you would talk to the townspeople and they're like, oh, I love the smell of bread in the morning. So you'd want to put the windmill with the baker with the person.
They didn't care. You could put it anywhere in the second one. Didn't
the first game I built these spectacular cities and I agonized over exactly who's supposed to go where because there really wasn't a lot of room to configure.
It wasn't the easiest thing ever. You had to like really plan things out.
The second one, I was like 3 buildings in the corner. Like, there's your city. Fuck you. Go to the next town.
They're like, oh, thank you, Savior.
Here's your pile of crap. Get out of my way.
All right.
They neutered it.
Number 4.
Number 4, Terraria for me. So I think you brought to my attention I have like 400 hours on that game.
I think I should bring it to your attention that remember when I was like, let's play this game called Terraria.
Yeah, I didn't want
and you were like, is it like it's like Minecraft, isn't it? I don't want to play that shit. 400 hours later. Jesus Christ.
That may have been the Steam like hours glitch. I haven't checked, but it wouldn't surprise me if I have that many hours. I'm waiting on patch 1.3 so I could put another 100 hours on it, but Terraria is just there's something about it that just hooks me. It's amazing. And now like they have armor mannequins so you can collect all the armor sets and make a fucking trophy room. Like
your high school
they
map.
added
Your high school map.
They added like wall things that you could put weapons on so you can collect everything in the game and display it in your castle.
You have a baby. Is your baby like? Is it alive still?
I have a thing on the wall and I put the baby on.
Yeah, do we know?
No, Terraria is amazing. Like I don't know. It just it's an indie game, and I guess I don't even know if you really can call it an indie game now though, because it's got such popularity. But another game I recommend trying. It's not a game that really teaches you what to do or holds your hands. You got to figure out a lot of it on your own. Which I have people I've told to play, and they're like, I didn't know what to do. I dug a hole, got killed. It's like, all right, well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like Minecraft. You can't just like stumble in blind. It doesn't hold your hand. Yeah. But once you get the basics down, you know, it's addicting.
And free DLC every time. They have never charged once, and they give some huge patches.
They said they were done with it at like 1.0 or something like that.
I think somebody started paying them to do more. Like millionaires, like
the
here's
developer. I think it was Red moved on, and then he came back and he's like, all right, here's a massive update for free. Here you go. Here, added hard mode, added like a whole new game to it for free. Like so, it's good developers and it's a great game.
All right, my number 3 is Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. This one was one of the reasons why I liked it so much was I actually got grounded for like I think it was 3 months because I had bad grades at the time. But I had pre-ordered this game, so I told my mom, I was like, I pre-ordered it already. So my mom actually went and got it for me, and she was like, after your 3 months are up, then you can play this. And I was on the tail end of it, so I had like another 2 weeks and I could play it. But everybody else at school was like, game's fucking awesome. I mean, oh my god, it's like Ocarina, but it's just so much better. And so I ended up going out there and sneaking out at night at like 2 a.m. and I'd play for like 30 minutes at a time. And I would play a little bit of Majora's Mask, which was perfect because you could go do something, come back, and save your progress, and then, you know.
I mean, I love Majora's Mask. I didn't like the time
I loved it.
rush on it. Like, I preferred Ocarina, taking my time to explore everything.
The world in Majora's Mask was so much more fun to explore than an open, dull field.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ocarina is really good, but I think Majora's Mask was... They took a risk, and I really liked it. And, I mean, we all know number one's going to be Wind Waker, though, because that's just the best game ever.
Yeah.
I hate that game.
Zelda.
I hate that fucking game. I hate it. That killed my love for Zelda. Because I got the game...
The one after that, the Twilight Princess, something like that. I didn't play it that much.
I tried it. I probably think I tried to, and I hated it too.
So you did 3, and now I'm on my 3.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, okay. I can't...
I just go. It's the longest
video
ever.
I don't do lists. I'm sorry. You send me to the grocery store and I don't come back with
anything. Just fucking say
Morrowind.
I see it on your list. Just say it.
Don't read my fucking list. Okay? This is my list.
No. It's taking forever. We have other things to film.
They like to watch us. These spoilers. Even though I spoiled it earlier. Yeah, number 3 is Morrowind. Like you said, one summer we used to go to New York and... Again, time and a place for things. So we'd go to New York in the summer when we were little and we didn't have internet. We didn't have television. We didn't have anything. We had my grandma's crappy laptop that I don't even know how it ran this game.
No. Wow. Yeah, I can already know.
So I had nothing to do. I picked up this game Morrowind on a whim. I think I was subscribed to Game Informer at the time, old school, and looked it up, got great reviews. So I'm like, fuck it, I got nothing to do. Let's play it. Playing it on my grandma's laptop with the settings turned so low that you would have thought I was playing Silent Hill. I was wandering through fog to get everywhere, but... Damn, that game hooked me. Like, I love Morrowind so much. To this day, that's the best of the Elder Scrolls games. I mean, I feel like with Oblivion and Skyrim, they took out a lot of what Morrowind did right. Like, I mean, just even armor pieces. Morrowind, you could have different shoulder pads, different chests, different gloves, different everything. Like, there was like 10 pieces of armor you could wear. They cut that down to 5 for the newer games, which I get for graphical purposes, you know, designing the models for them and stuff. But just the amount of customization in Morrowind, the amount of depth, the fact that I could wander into a random cave, find like one of the most powerful items in the game.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning.
Run for the hammer every single game.
Right at the beginning, I could get a bunch of like permanent stat boost items just out of nowhere if you know where to look and where to find them. And that was the thing that game encouraged. It encouraged you to explore, go off the beaten track. With Oblivion, which seems to be a lot of people's favorite Elder Scrolls games, I feel like they just recycled so many of the interiors. It felt like every cave was the same. And the fact that the enemies scaled with you in Oblivion really made me not like it.
That killed me the whole game.
It's like I was playing as an archer, so obviously my armor's not that great. But then once I hit like level 8, I was getting raped by everything. Yeah. It would take me like 50 arrows to down a fucking mountain lion. It's I'm putting all my points into this and I can't kill you.
Yeah, the mountain lion. I remember
I was like running across the entire map with a pincushion chasing me. And it's like, what do I have to do?
Yeah, we talked.
Oh, I hated Oblivion.
You told me because I played it later than you because I was having computer issues. Yeah. I just remember you told me you were like, so you fought a mountain lion? And I was like, they're impossible. You can't fucking kill them.
But see, Morrowind didn't have all that crap that scaled with you. Like, everything was there from the get-go. If you wandered into a wrong area, you fucked up. You were getting killed by this powerful enemy. But then you come back later and you take them out. Like, that's the way it should be. I shouldn't be running into bandits wearing full ebony armor. Like, that's stupid. You're a fucking bandit. Why are you robbing people? Clearly, you're well off.
They had mods to work on that and work on it, but it's still just, I was like, it should have just been that way. I was like, what were they thinking?
They just broke too many systems that Morrowind did right.
I just don't understand what the hell they were thinking. They were like, oh, these bandits that are like begging for food all of a sudden are gonna have full armor because they scale with you. What?
Yeah, it's stupid. Like, I shouldn't be getting my ass kicked. At some point, I should become godly. Like, that's the point of these games.
Yeah.
You get your ass kicked in the beginning.
You're revered as a god.
You're even level in the middle, and then you become a god, and you walk around fearing nobody. And I feel like Skyrim fixed it. But Oblivion just fucked it up so bad for me that, like, I still haven't beaten Oblivion. Like, I've tried so many times, and it's just... I hate it.
I wasn't interested in the hell portals either. Any of that stuff. It just
every hell portal was exactly the same, and there's so many people that love Oblivion, and I don't get it. I hate Oblivion.
Which is, it's we're the
I'm
exactly
gonna
same.
go out there
We're
right now and say Oblivion is my least favorite Elder Scrolls game.
Because we started at Morrowind. It's like Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim.
Like I kind of like even hesitated to get Skyrim because Oblivion left such a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, but
like,
thankfully the reviews
seemed
more. They were like it's more Morrowind.
The problem with Morrowind though now is though if you've played Skyrim and Oblivion, if you've never played Morrowind and you try to go back and play it, I don't think you're gonna find the same experience. Like the graphics are painful.
Oh yeah, it's nostalgia all the way.
The dialogue is all readable. It's not any voice acting or anything like that. A few of the cinematics have voice acting, but all the dialogue has to be read. So our ADD Call of Duty generation is going to be like, oh, fuck that, read paragraph TLDR, see ya, fuck this.
There's no, like in Skyrim, there's no fast travel either, unless you get to the stilt writers,
but
whatever they're called.
They had the mark and recall spell, so I could mark my spot in a cave, recall back to my house, sell all my loot. I could place my loot perfectly, which was another thing that Skyrim and Oblivion fucked up. When I put a helmet down in Oblivion, walk outside, walk inside, my helmet flies across the room. What the fuck are you doing over there? You're on the shelf. Morrowind, I would kill a guy in Caldera every time, steal his house because it had a big bookcase by the doorway.
Yeah, we killed the same guy.
Yeah,
we
had the best house.
Yeah.
I'd kill that son of a bitch, and then I would display a helmet from every armor set on my shelf. And you know what? That shit didn't move. I could go anywhere, come back, right where I left it.
What was their engine?
The engine was too floaty in those games. Like mods would fix that, but it left such a bad taste that even with mods I can't play Oblivion.
So we have like the exact same list almost, just rearranged. My number 2 is World of Warcraft. So World of Warcraft is the ultimate you don't want a girlfriend and you don't want to pay attention to your wife game.
My marriage is in jeopardy right now because Warlords of Draenor came out and
my marriage is in jeopardy.
It's really all I've been playing.
I don't think he's joking.
No, there's a bit of truth in that. So, I have a problem. Send help. I'm sorry.
Well, Lisa. I know you had way more than me, but I know at one point I had like 200 or 300 hours put into to World of Warcraft.
Don't even.
No, he has like 600 hours or something.
All right, hang on. I want to do the math on it.
Okay.
No, let me.
I'll talk about this though. So everybody knows what World of Warcraft is. I had never played the previous Warcraft games, which were top downs like StarCraft or Command and Conquer.
They weren't top down. They were real time strategy games.
Well, I mean, top down view is what I was talking about.
Up here.
Yeah, from the top down. Technically, they are top down games, though. You piece of shit. So oh my God! Tell them how many hours you have.
I'll get to it.
I'll save it for yours.
I'll get. That's as of college.
He got me into.
I disgust myself.
He got me into that game, and it's really, really fun. I was like playing as a rogue or a warlock. Those are my 2 favorites. I never really tried anything outside of that. But I just remember when the first expansion came out, our anger of trying to get into the instances to try and run old instances, and like it was broke for like 2 months.
Kick out.
2 months. I'm like, I'm paying for this every month, and you can't. I'm sure it's all fixed now.
Yeah.
But it was a good game overall. I mean, I literally lost a relationship because of it. So don't play that game if you want to keep yours.
But hey, you could be Guildmaster.
Well, you're number 2.
My number 2 is not World of Warcraft. My number 2 is Final Fantasy VII.
Never got into that one.
That, again, I go back to time and place. I had my appendix out one summer and couldn't do anything. I was stuck, on the couch. Got me out of PE, though, so that was nice. I got out of PE that year. But I needed a game to play. Read Gaming Magazine, great reviews. Played it. It was probably greatest hits at the time, too. I didn't even get that game when it was new. But
Makes your eyes bleed.
Oh, now you can't. You can't.
It
hurts. But at the time, Final Fantasy VII, that just hooked me. Like, I love those kind of games to this day because of that game, and I think that was the best one that they've come out with. I've played almost all the new ones until they stopped going away from the turn-based battle system. They got more real-time and tried to have you more involved, and it's like kills a lot of the charm of it for me. But Final Fantasy VII just had such an epic story, epic characters, just such a very well-made game that it's worth trying. I actually think it's one of the top games that people online are asking them to do a remake of. They want a graphical update, and they're never going to do it.
You never know. I say never say never.
And I think they just actually, was it Final Fantasy VII, they teased at a convention, they're like, coming to PlayStation 4, but it's just the same game ported over like they did for the PC. They didn't update anything. So you're going to play Final Fantasy VII 1997, 98 graphics on the PlayStation 4, just like they did for the computer. So it's still a great game, but it's going to hurt your eyes if you try to play it.
Did you know that I just saw this recently? There was a quest that somebody didn't unlock and I find out in that game until 13 years after its release.
Are you serious? In Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah, it was. I watched the YouTube video. And I don't know anything about the series, but there were these pig brothers or something that you had to visit. You'd walk up to the door and they'd come out and be like, "Oh, I gotta go find my brother." You had to, throughout the whole game, from start to finish, you had to visit them at specific set times. And there's like 8 of them.
Wow.
So you had to go, visit him, do all this stuff, come back, visit him, do all this stuff, come back. And once you got to the last brother, he left, and then you could walk into their house.
So there's something in their house?
So what was in the house, though, apparently was like the equivalent of like a level 1 trinket. It was like nothing. It was
But
like
still,
it was like a necklace.
Yeah.
But it was just a common item you can get anywhere.
That game was full of hidden stuff, just stuff you had to get off the beaten path for to find that you would never find just blowing right through and doing what they say. Like, it encouraged exploration. Yeah, like you said, if they can still have stuff that people hadn't discovered a decade later, like, that just speaks. And that was, I mean, a lot of that, though, was a time before the internet was what the internet is now. Like, you could find strategy guides now and then for things like that, but it wasn't like the internet community you have now, where a game comes out and before it's even out, everyone knows all the spoilers and the secrets and stuff like that. I heard that.
All right, so we're on our number ones. Well, this has been a long fucking video. Morrowind is my number 1. Yeah, it was just one of those games where I just bought it on a complete whim. I think it was on the greatest hits. It was like $20. And I think it was on the
No, you got Morrowind when it was new.
Did it? Okay.
You got...
No, I bought it again and again and again.
You bought it a couple times. Yeah, you bought it.
Because it had the expansion.
Well, you played it on Xbox, so I played it on PC.
But yeah, I bought it, and I remember it wasn't a full price game, and that's one of the reasons why I bought it. I think it was like $40 instead of $60, like the usual games were. And so when I was at Walmart, I saw it, and that's why I got it. And I didn't know anything about it. And Jesus, like the first 5 minutes of just walking around and just being like, I found a ring inside of a fucking tree trunk. Do I give it to this elf or do I keep it? And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking keep it. Fuck you, elf. I'm never gonna see you again. Yeah, just great stuff. I remember one of my first memories was like walking down a road and it told me to go this way. And I'm like, but there's a road here and here. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go this way. So I walked this way and all of a sudden the fucking wizard just fell out of the ground. He fell, hit the ground. I took his stuff, read a notebook, and he was trying to cast a spell. He failed levitation and he died. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get to fly eventually in this game. This is awesome. Another thing that they took out of Oblivion, the thing they'll fuck themselves on. Fuck you. Really? Really? Like, that was one of the best things about Morrowind, was I could fly around if I wanted to. But yeah, Morrowind, favorite game of all time. I put easily the most into it. I bought the most copies of it. I had the PC version. I had all 3 versions on Xbox.
You played it on Xbox, and you were missing out on all the mods.
Yeah.
Because we call it Modrowind.
So I started on Xbox first. I bought the copy. Then the Xbox Greatest Hits came out, and I bought it because it had like one of the expansions, and then they had like the one with all the expansions. So I had all 3 copies of those. Then I bought the PC version. Then I bought all 3 of the expansions on the PC. Then I, for some reason, bought it on Steam again, and I've never played it since.
I did too.
Yeah, so it's just one of those games. It's awesome, but it's nostalgic because I don't really know I could go back and actually play it again.
No, My number 1, World of Warcraft, like Matt already mentioned.
You tell them how many hours you played. Only in college, not counting since.
So. That doesn't even total everything, because that was like my 3rd or 4th character. So, but in college, because it came out while I was in college, and literally everyone I knew was playing it. So again, sense of community.
Just stop trying to make it seem like you don't have a problem, and tell them how many hours you calculate that you played.
So this is only on 1 character too. So my character I raided with in vanilla, World of Warcraft, Molten Core, Blackwing Lair, Nax, all that shit. So when you type /played, it shows how much time you played, and it showed 96 days, which is 2,304 hours. That would have been in 2006 or 7, so we're here in 2014, almost 2015, so I've been playing the whole time. Not the same character, unfortunately, so I can't find out my days played, but it's pathetic.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a like total account played.
I need to find that because
sure.
I'm sure it's like at least a year of my life I've spent playing that. Now that's not all just like playing, because a lot of times we'd just leave it on, we go to dinner and shit like that. Yeah. So it would sit on for hours before it AFK'd you out. But yeah, that's a pretty sad
statistic. A lot.
And I'm still playing it to this day. Like I said,
I gave up after the 3rd expansion. That's when they lost.
Vanilla was my favorite. And then BC came out. BC was really good. I was still in college, so everyone was still playing it. Then a lot of people dropped out. We graduated. Lich King came out. I like Lich King. I still played it, but I didn't play it as much. You know, became more casual, didn't raid, like didn't really care. Cataclysm and Pandaria I didn't play, so actually I really did take a bunch of time off from it. But then
That's true. I did play a little bit of Cataclysm.
I got it because they redid the old world,
It's
and
like
I wanted
2
to
weeks
see
of
it.
before I tapped out.
Yeah, I played some Cataclysm just to level alts mostly, just because I wanted to see the new quests, because I was so nostalgic for vanilla that Cataclysm altered the original world, and it was cool to see what they changed. And so, like, if you had played it before, you could see what's different now and all that kind of stuff. Pandas came out, didn't give a shit.
Oh yeah.
I never even touched it during that expansion, so I took that whole year off. But then Draenor came out, which redid the character models, changed a bunch more crap. And it's a lot of fun. I like what they did with the expansion. It's not just, here, go kill 10 guys, that's it. I mean, there's still some of that, but they actually added like scenarios and progressive quests, and like zones will change as you do things, so you feel like you're doing something. Not just, hey, I wandered in here, killed a bunch of pigs, I'll be back later, and you don't know who I am.
Well, yeah, well, you're doing something in the game, but maybe you should be doing something in real life, like maybe entertaining your wife and child.
I just defeated Ragnaros in the Molten Core to get a Corehound mount. Thank you very much, sir. So
this is why
I'm pretty sure that I am elite right now.
The reason why I tapped out on the game wasn't really necessarily due to not liking the game anymore.
It's like,
still fun.
It's like fucking
It is
heroin.
a way of life. So
it's fucking crack.
I pulled the needle out and I said, I'm no longer doing this. And since then, my arm looks good, no puncture marks.
Well, your upper arm doesn't look so great.
What do you mean?
Is it your other upper arm?
Which way?
The one with the horde tattoo? There?
Oh yeah, no, I've got a little Warcraft tattoo.
So.
Well, out of all, on my top 10 list, I've got a Fallout 3 tattoo. I've got, I'm planning on getting a Half-Life 2 tattoo eventually. I've got, I'm going to get a Dark Cloud one as well. I plan on that. I have a Majora's Mask tattoo. I have twin mold.
When you get your John Cena
and then I have
tattoo.
World of Warcraft and Morrowind tattoos. So technically it's Morrowind and Oblivion, even though I didn't like Oblivion that much. But yeah.
Oh yeah, you got a couple Warcraft tattoos because that was the tabard.
Yeah, tabard that I actually had. So that was cool to. Yeah, I'm a big giant nerd.
You should probably post this thing in parts because this is a lot of
tons of ads put into it. But hey, that's that. That was our top 10 list. It took forever, but fuck it. I had fun talking about it, and now we're gonna film some verses. Yay.